This is fourth block, physical science. Reminder, when we work remote, you have to be on the Google Meet and you have to complete the work for today to be counted present. Okay, this has got to be clear here. You've got to do these two things to be counted present. It is now 1:55. I'm going to go ahead and get started. A few folks may come in at 2, but I'd like to go ahead and get started. I'll back up some stuff if I need to. Let me get out of here. Get into physical science. I'm recording. You need to move over here, please. All right, so for today, we are on Thursday, February 18th. We're going to do the bell ringer in just a minute. You have 2 videos that you're going to watch on your own, and I'm going to explain how you do this activity here. Tomorrow, I wanted to explain about tomorrow. If you are, we're going to do, your assignment will be plasma games, right here, the plasma game assignment. If you have not signed up for an account for Plasma Games, you will need to go down to the module that says Plasma Games right here, and you'll need to click on Student Account, and you will need to follow those directions to get a student account. Your assignment for tomorrow will be to complete the first 4 levels in this, because we're going to do something next week. And if you haven't gotten that far, you're not going to have access to what I need you to have access to. So this is what is your assignment for tomorrow. So for today, we're going to go into the bell ringer. I'm going to click on resubmit because I did this with second block. We're reviewing what we did yesterday. So this is counting atoms. So if you do not, right now it doesn't matter if you know what each of these symbols means. You just need to look for the capital letters. So Na is 1 element, Cl is 1 element. There is no number after each one, so that means each one has 1 atom that makes up that compound. So I'm going to type number 1, Na, equals 1 atom of Na. Cl equals 1 atom of Cl makes up NaCl. Number 2, we look up here, we have MgBr2. Well, Mg doesn't have a number, so 1 atom of Mg. Br has a 2 after it. 2 atoms of Br make up MgBr2. Now, number 3, remember when we do this one, we have a coefficient out here, and we're going to have to multiply each of these numbers by that 4. So Fe has a 3, so I'm going to come for number 3, we'll put Fe equals 4, because the 4 was the coefficient, times the 3 that was with the Fe. 4 times 3 equals 12. The next element in that is N, and there's a 2. So I'm going to have 4 times 2. So I'm going to go N equals 4 times 2, which is 8. So 12 atoms of Fe and 8 atoms of N make up 4 compounds of Fe3N2. The last one, CAOH with a 2 outside the parentheses. I didn't go over this yesterday with the parentheses. The parentheses is like in math, you're going to distribute. So I'm going to take this 2 and I'm going to distribute it to the 1 with the H and to the 1 with the O. It doesn't go with the CA. So CA has no number, so CA is going to be 1. So for number 4, CA equals 1. I had an O, an O, capital O. And if I look up there, it was inside parentheses. There was no number here, so I'm going to say 2 times 1. So I'm going to have 2 times 1 equals 2. And then the H, the same thing. The H did not have a 1 with it, so if I look up here, no 1. 2 times 1 is 2. So H equals 2, 1 equals 2.
Hey, Miss Noah.
Hello.
It's Camden.
Okay, I was just trying to see, I've got it set up my camera higher so I couldn't see who came on. All right, I've got right here, if you want to type in the bell ringer real quick. What we did yesterday is we learned how to count atoms, and I'm actually going to pick up there in just a minute.
Yeah, because my computer wouldn't let me log in.
Yeah, I got the text late yesterday, texted with your stepmom. So right here, if you want to type that in, the bell ringer.
All right, I'm getting there now.
Okay.
It's being slow.
Every day it's a crisis.
Yeah, every day. I don't think it's real no more than the man in the moon.
The bell 20.
I'm sure you'll blow my phone up.
I'm sure I think it just takes me.
Oh, gotta let somebody else in. All right, so I've already gone over the bell ringer. Here's the answers, so you can get those typed in.
I'll call Michelle and tell her what you need. Tell her, look. Yeah, but then, they just spend a lot of money on this harness, so I'm down very serious market for looking. That was pretty cheap. Too bad that damn John ain't up this way.
Let me know when you get it, Camden.
Huh?
Let me know when you get it typed in.
All right.
I'll be glad you do that, Katie. Glenn? I told Mike to ask Glenn. He acted like he really didn't want to. I think Glenn will come over there and do it just for the fact that it's out trying to break in, because he don't like that.
Not at all. That's it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but he fucked that door up. Almost a year ago. If you shake it and pull on it real hard, word with it, it comes out. Yeah, I just got there big ass fucking latch to the deadbolt. You deadbolt yourself in there so he couldn't get in. That's what I'm talking about. I need that deadbolt on both of them. I can't believe all the people that Chris, them do that.
I don't know any car.
That's what I'm saying. All the people that ain't one of them be able to do them construction work.
What do you think?
It's 48. 2 times 1 equals 2H.
don't mind, cut your phone on every now and then.
Got it?
No, one of the last one. All right, I got it now.
What's that?
Okay. I'm gonna go back to modules and, just hit something I'd already said before you guys popped in. Today, you're gonna have 2 videos and an assignment I'm gonna go over. But yesterday in 4th block, we didn't quite finish, I didn't quite finish going over the assignment from yesterday, practice counting atoms. So we did the notes yesterday, stability and bonding. You've got to watch the video counting atoms, and then we've got this practice that I'm gonna go over first. And then I'm gonna talk about today's assignment. Tomorrow, you're going to be playing plasma games. That is your assignment. You've got to get through level 4. If you haven't been here, you're gonna need to go here to create student account. Otherwise, you should be able to log in, going to the link that I have in there, and you've got to play it up through level 4. We're gonna do something with it next week, and you're gonna have to at least have gotten that far to do that. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna back up to yesterday's assignment, practice counting atoms. And I was in the middle of going over this when the bell rang. So I want to go back up here, or go back over some things, especially for you, Camden, since you weren't here. So to understand sort of the writings that I put up here, any big numbers, like right here in front of the H2O, the big 2, they're called
Yeah.
coefficients. And
Coefficient. Okay, I get it.
it means you have 2 sets of those H2Os. Not right now, Karen. The little 2 means that within one set, there are 2 of those H's because it comes after. If there's no number, it means 1. And so this coefficient, if we're counting atoms, it's going to be like math. We're going to distribute. So we're going to say for my H's, 2 times 2 is 4. There are 4 H's in this set of compounds right here. My O's, 2 times 1 is 2. So I have 2 O's in this set of compounds. So that is what we're doing. You can also, where I typed it out here, you can write it out. H2O, H2O, because there are 2 of them, 2 sets. You see I have 2 H's, 2 H's, that's a total of 4. 1 O, 1 O, total of 2. The other examples they had here, kind of to go through, is if it helps you to do different colors, you can underline each capital letter. If it's followed by a lowercase letter, it goes together. I need to teach Carolyn. So NA goes together, C is by itself, and O is by itself. And so to count these, you would write the symbols out, and then I would look for numbers. If there's no number, it means 1. So for the NA and the C is both 1, and for the O, it is 3. Now they're asking you to calculate the total number of atoms. I'm not interested in that. I just want it broken down in each individual atom here. Here again, for this example, it has a 5 in front of it. You could write this whole thing out 5 times, and you would see there are 5 ZNs, there are 5 S's, and there are 5 O4s, but 5 times 4 is 20. Or when you break it down to ZN goes together, you would take the 5 and put 5 times. There's no number, so 1. 5 times 1 is 5. The S, 5 times, no number, which is 1. 5 times 1 is 5. 5X with the O, 5 times 4 is 20. So that is what we're doing. I got through one example yesterday right here, and the bell rang right when we were doing it, and I wanted to do a couple more examples. So again, I use different colors. If that helps for you to do it, use that so that you can see it. I went through and did all my capital letters and wrote them down. So N, my H is showing up twice. I just wrote it one time. My C and my O. So I look, there's no number with one, with N, so it's a 1. My H's, I have a 4 and I have a 1. So 4 plus, that should be a 1 equals 5. My C has a 1, no number, so it's a 1. And my O has a 3. And so that's all you're doing is breaking it down and writing it. I wanted to do, I'm going to do number, oh, fiddly. I'm going to do number 4. Let me use my mouse so I can, all right, I'm going to do number 4 right here. So if I were going to use different colors, I'm going to underline my C, choose a different color. I'm going to underline my H's. I have 2 twice. And then I'm going to underline my O's right here. So I'm going to take my C's first. So I have C's, I have H's, and I have O's. But I have this number right here. That means that on each of these, I have to do 5 times. So I'm going to go ahead and write 5x by it. That means 5 times. So I'm going to look at my C's. I have 1 and 1. That gives me 2. So I'm going to say times 2. 5 times 2 is 10. So there's a total of 10 C's in these 5 sets of this compound. All right, I'm going to look at my H's next. I have 3 H's here because of this 3 and 1 H here. That's 4. So 5 times 4 is 20. Use a calculator if you need to. My O's each have a 1, so that's going to be 2. 5 times 2 is 10. So again, make sure, go through, you pick out each element that has a lowercase letter after it, it goes together. So for example, I'm just going to show you the elements in number 5. You have Li, you have Fe, you have P, and you have O. All right. And you're going to go back and do that. Let me see. I'm going to do, try to remember which ones I did. Let's see. All right. I'm going to do number 7, just because it's long and it seems to make people think it's more difficult. So I have a C, I have an H, I have an N, and I have an O. All right, so I'm going to go back and I'm going to write. All right, so I'm going to have my C. I'm going to have my H. You may need to mute Camden for right now. I have an N. And I have an O. I may not have left me enough room there. But if I look, I have this 3 in front of there. So I'm going to need to put 3 times for each one of these. Camden, can you mute, please? So I don't know which, I'm hearing talking, so somebody has to mute.
I did.
Okay. So my C, if I go back here, get my blue, if I look at my C, there's an 8. So 3 times 8 is 24. H's, there's 10 of them. So let me get my right color here. So times 10, that is 30. And then my N's, let me get my green. There's a 4, so 3 times 4 is 12. And my 3's, or my O's, is a 2. So this is 6. So that's how you complete this. This is from yesterday. I wanted to make sure I did the same examples I did with second block. So you'll need to go back and finish counting those atoms. So pull out the symbols and then put the number that's in each of those. Now, before we do today's assignment, you've got 2 videos that should go over this information, but I wanted to just review a couple things. So, ionic bonds. Woo. There we go. There are 2 types of bonds, ionic bonds and covalent bonds. All right, ionic bonds are going to be made up of metals and nonmetals. So remember, on your periodic table, there's a file in Canvas if you don't have the paper copy at home. Metals are going to be on the left-hand side, nonmetals on the right-hand side. So if I have NaCl, Na is over here in group 1, it's a metal. Cl is in group 7A, it's a nonmetal. This is classified as an ionic bond. It has to have a metal and a nonmetal. Now, you may see some that have more than 1 capital letter. So if you have something like NaOH, it has 3 capital letters. It is going to be an ionic bond, especially if this one right here is a metal. If they're all nonmetals, it's going to be a covalent. But if the first one is a metal and all the other capital letters are either a metalloid or a nonmetal, it is going to be an ionic bond. Covalent bonds are going to be like CO2, C6H12O6, NO2. Each capital letter is a non-metal. Covalent bonds are only between non-metals. So each element has to be a non-metal for it to be a covalent bond. So that is the first thing that you're gonna, or the main thing you're gonna need to know to complete today's assignment. So today's assignment in Canvas, if you look, is you've got 2 videos. We've done the bell ringer, and it's down here, identifying ionic and covalent bonds. It's in a Cami. I've got it pulled up right here. And it's a sorting activity. And so this sorting activity, you've got, this is a list right here of all of different chemical formulas, okay? Now, you're going to start and you're going to determine, is it ionic or covalent? So first, you're going to look at the first element. So for this one, Ag. So look in the first 2 columns of your periodic table. If it's not there, try the middle section. Ag is actually in column 1B on your periodic table. It is silver. It's a metal. So if it starts with a metal, it's going to be ionic. So you're going to click right here and you're going to type A, G, F. Use your little subscript here to put your 2. Here it says the metal elements. You can just put their symbol. So you're going to put Ag. You're going to put F. All right, and that one's finished. If you want to take your drawing tool and mark through it so that you know you've done that one. Now look at the second one. Notice for the second one, AL. We know AL is aluminum. It's a metal. So I know it's going to go here. Notice it has two other letters there. The K is actually a metal, but that doesn't matter. It's got that non-metal there. So this whole thing right here is going to be ionic. So you would put it here, and you would list out the letters that are metals, list out the letters that are non-metals. All right, I want to look at, let's take this one right here. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to underline it here. All right, all of these are non-metals. So this is a covalent. So I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to write CH, use my little subscript 3, COOH. Then it wants the names of the elements of the nonmetals here. So I've got mine set at pretty large, so I'm going to lower it down. And so I know the C, if I look on the periodic table, is carbon. I know the H is hydrogen, and the O is oxygen. I do not have to write hydrogen and carbon twice or oxygen twice. So that's what you're going to do, and when you're finished with one, I will go ahead and mark it through. If every capital letter is a non-metal, you're going here. This has to be a metal plus non-metals up here. If you happen to have a metal and a metal, that's not going to work. A metal and a metalloid would be ionic. So let me put some hints up here if you want to put them on your paper. So you can have a metal plus a non-metal, and that could be one or two non-metals. All right, or you can have a metal plus a metalloid in this column here. Over here, they all have to be non-metals. All non-metals. So every capital letter has to be a non-metal. So you're going to sort this whole column, and again, if you don't mark them out, you're going to get confused. Then you're going to come down here, and for part 2 here, you're going to need to Google. So use your friend Google to figure out this. And how you're going to Google it is you would say, properties of ionic compounds. See what you can find and pick out the ones that would go under ionic compounds. Do a search for properties of covalent compounds. Write those. Properties of metallic compounds, and write it here. We haven't quite gone over this yet, but you can do a Google and find it and put that there and submit it. So this is your assignment for today, plus the 2 videos. And then tomorrow you need to do the through level 4 of plasma games, and then make up any work that is missing tomorrow. You've got to have stuff submitted for me to count you present. Remember, just being on the Google Meets does not get you present. If I happen to mark you absent, but you get your stuff turned in before 11:59 tonight, the next time I come to work, I can fix that absence. But you have to have work turned in. So are there any questions? Any questions?
No.
All right, so you understand what you've got to make up from yesterday, Camden?
Yeah.
Okay, so make sure you work on that, either today or tomorrow, over the weekend, but try to get today's work in today,
All right.
okay? If that's it, you can sign off so you can work. And I will be around. If you have questions, you can email me or message me tomorrow.
All right. Bye.